Good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to my usual stream. So nice to be back at home, my comfortable space to do the stream. So I'll wait a few more minutes and I'll get started. Okay, I'll get started right at 15 o'clock GMT. Hello, good day, good day. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see some familiar names. So hope everyone is well. Hope everyone's good. We'll get into the market very soon here. The way how I see right now, I think most of the dollar and yen pairs are looking really good for continuation after we have that strong bearish push down. So I think it's good to look for continuation now for most of these pairs. So keep an eye on those. They might happen in this New York session or they might happen later on in the Asian session. So let's get started now. Okay, let's get started now. 15 o'clock GMT. Seems some of you guys are on now. So let's get started. So we'll start with currency pairs. Let's look at dollar, Aussie dollar first. I want to go over a few key ones. You can see my watch list on the right. These are the couple key ones that I'm looking out for the pretty much the 24, 48 hours ahead. So Aussie dollar here. I talk about Aussie dollar for really a long time when price is pushing up. And if we look at the higher time frame here, this is the higher time frame daily now. I mentioned about watch out for when price is approaching to this top. The price doesn't have to hit the top or anything. It's just how the price gets to this potential double top area. And if we look at this latest bit of the price, what is the price telling us? Well, we know when we see a strong impulsive move to the upside, and if it's not followed by continuation, that's a first sign that the bullish momentum may be exhausted. And in fact, we didn't even see a reversal, right? We didn't even see, excuse me, guys. We didn't see a reversal structure at the top to push down. Instead, we just have a sharp reversal impulse. I made an educational video on this type of price action. When we see an impulse and it's met by a reversal impulse followed by a continuation correction, this move in general has a very significant momentum to continue lower. And we're seeing that across pretty much on all the dollar pairs and all the yen pairs. So the key here is to wait for what's going to happen in this last bit of the correction. I think it's really important to wait for a potential continuation correction here, which is pretty much what it's doing now. It had a sharp push to the downside, and then looks like we're just pulling back. And it's just kind of like a channel you want to call, or really much a flag, really. So an impulse correction, and you're looking for the next impulse, right? So keep an eye on here. Keep an eye on, see if we can see the price breakout. If there's lower time frame correction, that would be good to get in. Also keep in mind that we could just push down here and push back, form a bigger correction, and then we still drop afterwards. Okay, so there's always a tendency to do that. So make sure you know about your risks. Make sure you know if you're entering these positions, there's a likelihood of a bigger correction, but the overall downside is still there. All right, so that is Aussie dollar. Nice to see you guys. Nice to see you guys. Familiar names. Good job. Good. Give me a second here. Just woke up. So let's continue here. Kiwi dollar. Talk about Kiwi dollar as well. Kiwi dollar looks even a little bit better because we are hitting this double top here. You can see on the higher time frame here, this is a clear double top. It was kind of a double top here as well for the price to drop. And if we look closely here, we have what I usually call a false breakout, right? For price to break above, some people support resistance or whatever they call, but it quickly just retrace back down. So again, impulse, reversal impulse, looking like we're followed by a continuation correction to push lower. So this is key here to wait for this correction to finish, wait for a breakout, wait for continuation will be very, very nice. You see this on the higher time frame. This is clear as an ascending channel in the correction, so it's reversal structure in the making. And we're heading to this top now where price isn't looking to go bullish, right? We understand that we're not just going to start shorting because it hits some double top. We are going to look for lower time frame continuation, lower time frame reversal structure to give us confirmation. So what we're seeing here is once price has this push to the upside, we begin this consolidation phase, we begin this correction phase that market is doing because we aren't really moving up. You can see that after a strong impulse, we expect some sort of continuation to continue, but instead we start forming this reversal structure. We push up one last time on the lower time frame, false breakout, reverse impulse down, looking like there's a continuation correction to go lower. So I certainly keep an eye on this one as well. I think this Kiwi dollar looks a little bit even better than Aussie dollar in my opinion, because the higher time frame is looking better. It broke that top, it formed that clear double top, and then ascending channel here to push the price down. So that is Kiwi dollar. Let's talk about Euro dollar because I think a lot of people are looking at Euro dollar, myself included. If we look at Euro dollar here, if we look at Euro dollar here, you can see that price from the top here has already moved down. Looks like we're breaking out of this kind of ascending wedge or larger higher time frame structure, and it forms a deeper correction. Remember, we see this on Aussie dollar and Kiwi dollar. I mentioned that when we see a correction here, also expect the price can form a deeper one before it continues, which is what happens here in my opinion on Euro dollar, and waiting for a correction here to break out. Price pretty much is breaking out now. So you can still look for lower and lower time frame correction if we break this previous low. I think this is an area now to watch out for. We push back, we pull back. I don't think Okay, I'm back. Sorry guys, I don't know what happened. Sorry guys, I'm back now. So let's continue. Okay, so sorry, I apologize for that. That happens to me pretty much every time when I stream on TradingView and YouTube together, but we're back now. So that is pound dollar, those of you who were with me, that's pound dollar. But let's continue to what I think one of my preferred one. Let's look at dollar CAD, for example. Dollar CAD here, if we look at the higher time frame, this is the daily now. We are pretty much at this area where I want to look for a potential reversal. We talk about this previous double bottom area, the previous swing low area that the price is reacting. You can even say this is a swing low area, but either way, we're approaching to this overall area very correctively. And if you look at the price here, we're forming this descending channel, right? The more and the deeper this correction goes, the better it is for us to look for a reversal. If we look at here on the lower time frame, you can see that price has formed a smaller lower time frame descending channel within the larger descending channel, and we look closely here on the latest bit of the lower time frame. Again, we're seeing this reversal impulse, which is what I always look for. We have a move down, correction, and move down. Naturally, after a bearish impulse, there should be a continuation correction. We did not get a continuation correction. We did not even get a reversal. We pretty much get a reversal impulse, and looking like we're forming a flag or kind of a channel, some sort of continuation correction to break the price higher. So here I would wait for at least a breakout followed by a lower time frame correction. I think this would be nice to push the price up. And if we can break above this pretty much higher time frame descending channel, I do expect the dollar to continue higher and higher. So first thing first is to wait for this correction to finish and wait for a lower time frame breakout followed by a lower time frame correction. So that's what I see on dollar CAD. We lost you there. Okay, yeah. So pound dollar. So let's go back to pound dollar. Sorry, I missed, or that didn't got explained. So pound dollar, I talked about that. Overall, higher time frame is looking very good. We're in this kind of ascending channel formation, higher time frame ascending channel. So this is going to be a lot more significant. And if we look at the lower time frame here, we talk about that there is ascending channel pushing up, and then sharp reversal impulse down, which is good. So looking to see what will happen here in this latest bit of the price, because it doesn't faze me too much that it looks like a potential head and shoulder. But what it's likely more to do is, in my opinion, it's just going to form some sort of correction like this, and we're just going to break out now. So how I would approach this is, let's wait for some sort of correction to complete here. This can just push down lower and then break out, and then breakout continue. So wait for a correction to finish here, but ultimately, I think the higher time frame confirmation will come from if this price just breaks out and there's a clear continuation correction after we break out this channel, then really all the way down to the lows of the correction doesn't faze me here, in my opinion. We see these kind of structure play out all the time, right? We see these higher time frame ascending channel. We see them on indices, we see them on commodities, we see them on crypto and currency and all that stuff. The point here is to wait for correction to finish, because we're about halfway through this middle correction. So I don't think entering here would be too ideal unless you're already entering from the top. I think a breakout from this ascending channel followed by correction is always the logical or the safer trade to go, because you can expect price to actually hit all the way to the bottom. If we capture something like this, we understand when a higher time frame reversal correction finish. Remember, we talk about target price, right? Take profit price. This is one of them that I will be looking for at the beginning of the higher time frame reversal correction. That's always a good target to have. So I do expect this move to play out a lot more times. I probably won't enter here. I will certainly enter something like this if we get that confirmation breakout. All right, so that is pound dollar. I will talk about Aussie Swiss, so bear with me. I will talk about Aussie Swiss. So that's pound dollar. Let's move on to dollar peso. Dollar peso, I'm looking at this for potential, again, higher time frame reversal from the price. If we zoom out here on dollar peso, we know that this was the coronavirus push up, and price form a reversal structure. We push down the price, and looking like there is more kind of a downside movement. But this latest bit of the price, latest bit of the correction, is actually showing us some good potential bullish reversal. If we look down here, this latest bit of the price, let me go to 2 hour. This is more like a parallel channel. It's more neutral. It's not a clear continuation to go downside, or it's continuation to reverse. However, we see the tendency of the structure. We understand how a structure would form. At least few swing highs and few swing lows, which is what we're getting. And this lower time frame, we had this pretty much a reversal here. We have an impulse correction or impulse out of this higher time frame correction now. So this is all good price action, in my opinion. What I would look for now is prices breaking out here now, right? We have this kind of a flag kind of structure. We have an impulse correction. We're looking like we're impulsing out now. So is there going to give us lower time frame correction to continue, or we're just going to break through this top now and then same kind of formation, right? We're seeing this kind of same formation. So expect price to do the same and then pull back and then continue upwards if that's what the price we're going to do. And higher time frame wise, what's a good take profit? What's a good TP? In my opinion, we could go for a previous top or this previous top. This area would be a good idea to look for a potential take profit. But ultimately, if we just zoom out here a little bit, if we're seeing this as a big bullish move, and all this price action is just a corrected price term, correct consolidation phrase, this move up here followed by correction could be very significant. Okay, so always keep an eye on when you look for a price on the higher time frame, what the higher time frame is telling you. We have been pushing up on the higher time frame, right, for dollar pay. So if you can see, back in 2013, whatever, we've been as low as $12. Push up, correction, push up, correction. Is this going to continue upwards? Okay, so starting from the lowest point, we pretty much pull back all this price, but we're right back at the beginning where before the coronavirus happens, and we're seeing good reversal structure, reversal price action. So we'll see what happens here, okay? Kiwi Yen, yeah, I will talk about Kiwi Yen. So Aussie CAD here, I want to talk about Aussie CAD and I'll talk about Aussie Swiss. Let's go to the higher time frame. Remember, I talked about higher time frame here on Aussie CAD. Originally, when I thought when we break the top here, we could see continuation to the upside. But as the lower time frame develop more, you can see that we push the upside and then pretty much form a reversal structure and a sharp bearish reversal down. So that is what the sign from the market, right? We have to take it as what it is that the bullish market is no longer there after you see a strong bullish push up and then see a reversal structure and then a reversal impulse. So this continuation correction is going to be very significant in my opinion. It's the same as Aussie dollar or pretty much all the dollar pairs we're looking at, right? This reversal impulse followed by a continuation correction is going to be very significant. You look at the high time frame here, we're at the top of this kind of a rising wedge kind of correction, a reversal structure we're used to. And we broke the double top, but then we're looking to see a reversal from the double top now. You can see there's lots of room to the downside, even just to the previous low here. Definitely see a correction here to go down. There's quite a bit of room. If even just kind of eyeballing it, there's like 500 pips here that you can potentially get in. I do see that a correction here is the most crucial part. This is going to determine, are we going to go down further? Remember I talked about Aussie dollar, right? This can just move down here and then move up, forming a deeper correction, but still go down afterwards, making this some sort of head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so keep an eye on this. Don't try to jump into this if it doesn't give you a clear kind of bearish lower time frame, and expect a deeper correction or deeper consolidation before you start dropping. Good morning. Good morning. Let's talk about Aussie Swiss. I was looking at Aussie Swiss for the bearish move as well. I think we all talk about that. And looking here on the higher time frame, we approach this double top now, right? We're approaching this area now. But the difference here between kind of Aussie Swiss and Aussie CAD or Aussie dollar is that the lower time frame pullback that I see is a little bit too strong. You can see that. Let me just give you back the examples of Aussie dollar. We see Aussie dollar push down, and then the pullback or the consolidation is very clean, right? It's like a flag or it's like a ascending channel, but it's not like a direct reversal impulse, right? Same thing with Aussie CAD. We push down and looking like we're forming a flag kind of correction. But if you look at Aussie Swiss, it isn't doing that because it looks like it had a very sharp, almost like a reversal impulse. We talk about impulse, reversal impulse, and then a reversal impulse again. Kind of conflicting data or conflicting bias, so to speak. So I'm not too interested in Aussie Swiss here. unless this can just forms a deeper correction go, but I don't like how this lower time frame bullish push up is so significant, right? Impulse, there's a correction here, impulse. Looking like this is going to form a reversal structure and reversal correction to go down. So that's possible, but if you want me to choose among the Aussie pairs, I think Aussie CAD is looking great because this continuation correction, and Aussie dollar also looks great compared to Aussie Swiss, which they kind of pushed back or pushed up a lot more than what I would want to try to get into a short position. So let's continue. Let's talk about a few yen pairs. I think a few yen pairs are also looking like we can get some potential possibility. Looking at Aussie Yen here, I think this is pretty similar price action that we just saw, right? We saw Aussie dollar, we saw Aussie CAD as well. So how I would expect this same approach, right? Let's see what this correction, this last correction that the price is doing, what is it going to do? If we see closely here, this is a pretty clear breakdown, right? We talked about this last week. False breakout here, right? It's supposed to be a higher time frame double top. And, a lot of traders, once they break that top, right? Once they break that support resistance level, whatever they have, they start buying, right? That's what happens. They start buying, and then guess what happened? The market has a false breakout and then a reversal impulse. So pretty much tagging them out for a loss, and then looking like we're going to get continuation here. So this pullback, this kind of like ascending channel or flag is going to be very significant to see if we can get continuation price to go down to the lows. Right? We see these play out a lot, right? When we do backtesting, when we do a lot of chart work, we're going to see these kind of price action a lot, right? Impulse hop breaking above some support resistance people generally have, and then a sharp reversal impulse down, followed by continuation to go lower and lower. Okay, so I like when I see these kind of price action. I like how this is just kind of pegging a lot of impatient traders, right? Impatient traders getting here for the buy, and then they got pegged out, and then looking like the momentum is going to shift. So that is Aussie Yen. Any questions, guys? Let me know. I'm just going to continue now. CAD Yen is also originally I was the one that I was looking for because we hit that potential higher time frame double top, and this higher time frame double top is actually a lot more significant in my opinion because this is when COVID happens. This is when COVID had when price had this kind of double top here, M style pattern, and then strong COVID reversal price action. So right back at this price now, and that's why this area, in my opinion, would be pretty significant. Again, we're looking at the overall price, how they get to this double top, right? It's not about breaking the double top or not breaking the double top. It's about how the price gets there, what is the price doing on the lower time frame. So at the time I was looking at this, I thought this is again a good kind of false breakout. We had a push above that double top area, and then price quickly trades down. How I see now is this potentially could be same thing what we see on Aussie Yen, kind of a pullback, kind of a flag, kind of a potential ascending channel, but in this case is a continuation correction for this move down. But this kind of pullback more than what I would like to see. I'd rather for it to kind of pull back somewhere in this region and then start going down, but this looks like a pull back almost all the way to the top here. But here's what we see from the higher time frame. Right? We see this kind of an M style pattern that I talk about in my videos. If this continue kind of push the price up to the top here, that's going to be better, right? Because now we're going to see an M style pattern. We're going to see a reason double top. We're going to see a higher time frame double top. We're going to see ascending channel. So look for a breakout, continuation correction, and go lower. Okay, so be a little bit more patient, in my opinion, when it comes to these setups. Is some yen may be faster, some yen may be slower, but it's about choosing the best one or two to be able to capture it and have a plan, right? This is when we do forecasting, I'm forecasting what I want to see from the price so that when it happens, I'm going to execute it without any emotion, right? Most traders will execute trades without really planning what the trade will be or what their entries will be or what their take profit will be. But if you forecast that, if you already have a plan, you have a management accordingly, then you leave the emotional decision out. I already talked about Aussie CAD, my friend. I don't think you saw that. So Aussie dollar, Euro dollar, I did go over those already. But let's quickly run through these ones that you guys are asking. Pretty clear Aussie dollar I talk about is looking for a continuation now. We have this reversal impulse. We're breaking out of this higher time frame, kind of a wedge. There's a lower time frame continuation here. So expect this continuation to finish and go down the price. Now remember, this can move down to the bottom here and push up, forming a bigger structure before the downside. Euro dollar, kind of same idea. We break out here now. So remember, I talked about this potential breakout and potential sell setup. Looking to complete this head and shoulder. There's two possibilities here. Again, it's the same as Aussie dollar. This can push down and then form a bigger structure and then still going down because I expect this head and shoulder pattern to complete. But the overall downside momentum, as we can see from the top here, is pretty similar. It's pretty clear, right? We have this ascending channel, impulse, correction, looking for the next impulsive phrase. Aussie CAD talk about that already, right? We had this impulse up. There's a reversal structure. We had a bearish impulse down, looking like there's a continuation correction here to go down lower. If we zoom out here, we're just at the beginning of this higher time frame wedge reversal. So looking for lower time frame correction, lower time frame continuation to go down further. Hey Ali, nice to see you. So Kiwi Yen, let's talk about Kiwi Yen here. Kiwi Yen, if we zoom out here, again, high time frame double top, high time frame double top area. This is the previous swing high area. So keep an eye on how the price is doing on the lower time frame. You can see that again, we're pretty much seeing this across the board, right? On dollars and on yens. Higher time frame double top. We barely broke out, right? And then again, sharp reversal impulse. This is what I always love to see, trying to capture something like this. Bullish impulse up, no correction, no reversal correction. Instead, it's a reversal impulse down, looking like we're going to follow by a reversal, a continuation correction for this bearish move. So making this an impulse correction, looking for the next impulse, right? Very clean price action on the lower time frame. And you got the higher time frame double top in your favor. You have all this kind of skew formation. Price has moved up all this period of time, and it just hasn't have a pullback yet, right? So to speak, it hasn't have a deeper correction. So I do expect this price to at least complete this correction, at least to push down lower to the lows here before we're going to see further upside potential. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue here. That's Kiwi Yen. Let's talk about a few euro pairs. I think they're looking very, very good. Nasdaq, I'll go over after. Okay, I'll go over the indices after. Let me finish all the currency first. So Euro Aussie, talk about this since last week. We have this potential double bottom in the area, right? Double bottom, kind of rejecting this area of the price. And if you look at the lower time frame here, we have this kind of descending channel, right? Very clean descending channel. What's good about is that, again, we're seeing this type of price action, right? A impulse down and then no correction to continue or to reverse. Instead is a reversal impulse up. And if we look at the lower time frame here, there's are a few these short-term sell setups. Even this short-term sell setup does seem valid, but when we look at the higher time frame picture, you have to understand when I look for a possibility or when I look for confirmation is about, does the higher time frame match with your lower time frame price action? I'm sure there is lower time frame push down, continuation correction, pushing the price. That is a lower time frame price action, yes. But what is the higher time frame telling you, right? The higher time frame is going to weigh them more significant on the overall price is doing. So even these small sell setups is valid, but you just have to understand you need to take profit a lot of time because price isn't likely to continue all the way down or all the way breaking out because you see a lower time frame continuation, but we're not looking at the higher time frame potential reversal. So that is the key here, in my opinion, is to understand multi-time frame analysis. Sure, some of the time these sell setups will work out, but have you backtested enough? Have you done enough chart work to compare to when these lower time frame correction is different than what a higher time frame is telling you? Right? I think that's the most important part is if you find some strategy or sell setups or setups that you take, you're not going to just judge it because you took it once and you think that's going to be the time to do it every time afterwards. Is about backtesting, doing a lot more chart work so that when you see similar setups, at least you're not making an emotional decision. Okay. So getting back here on Euro Aussie, like I said, what I'm expecting is this impulse off followed by some sort of correctional phrase, which could be something like this, and then we're just going to start seeing the next bullish run. Okay, ultimately is to wait for price to break out of this higher time frame structure, though I think this is always going to be the most safest and the cleanest setup that you can get. Right, we see these descending channel play out more often than not, and you have to see what the higher time frame is telling you, a potential double bottom, and the higher time frame here screams bullish reversal in my opinion, and it's all about what happens here on the lower time frame. Is this going to be just the last bit of the bearish price because you can see an impulse correction, no impulse to continue. Instead, pretty much this becomes a potential reversal now. So if this is going to push up higher, then expect this to continue upwards. Moving on to Euro Kiwi, I think it's probably the best one that I will look to capitalize on. I think Euro Kiwi is looking better than Euro Aussie. So Euro Kiwi here on the higher time frame, again, we're at this double bottom area now, right? Price formed this descending channel just like on Euro Aussie. We broke the low and then we reversed. This is even better now because if you look at the lower time frame here, what are we getting here? We have an impulse correction impulse, right? This is a sharp bearish impulse. No continuation, no reversal correction in this latest bid. Instead is a sharp reversal impulse. So making this kind of a V-shaped pattern, right? Impulse, reversal, impulse. And if it's followed by continuation, if it's followed by a continuation correction, this plays out very high probability of time and very, very good trade. You're getting in at the most bottom of the price action as you can possibly do. And impulse, correction, impulse, right? Very similar to what we have been seeing across the board. And if you look at here, we're just at the beginning, right? We're not even breaking all of this descending channel yet, but all this lower time frame correction, all these lower time frame price action is giving you a lot of confirmation, a lot more confidence to look for a buy entry to the top here, right? There's a lot of room here. Even just if you enter out here, if we look into the top here, there's about almost 600 pips here that you can potentially get, right? And when you start seeing these lower time frame correction that are happening, you have to have a plan. You have to have a good management plan to execute them, right? Looking for entry, looking for a buy setups, and looking to know where to take profit at. Okay, so I think Euro Kiwi is definitely going to be my go-to one moving up, or I mean in this next 24, 48 hours. And same with a couple yen pairs and dollar pairs, right? I think we all know that is where the price is likely to happen. So, all right, so moving on to a couple other Kiwi pairs. I think there's a few more Kiwi pairs looking good. Eurocad is another one I'm looking at. I think some of you guys in my group is also looking at this. If we zoom out here, again, higher time frame, this is that double top again. This is even that double top and then form this M style pattern, and then we pretty much just reverse the price from this top, right? And we're right back at this level now, which is great. And higher time frame, look at all these consolidation. It's not really moving up anymore. It's not forming continuation correction. Instead, this is a reversal correction that I'm seeing here. And if we zoom in here on the lower time frame, what the price here is telling you that, again, we had this kind of false breakout, right? Originally, I was looking at this as impulse correction, and we're going to impulse out of that. But instead, again, false breakout, we had an impulse up and then a reversal impulse down. So looking like we're going to form continuation here, which is kind of what I'm looking for, is wait for continuation, right? This is what it's doing here now. So if it breaks out followed by more continuation, then expect price to keep going. Right? This is that reversal structure that we've been waiting for all this time. And wait for it to complete here would be very ideal to look for the next sell. You can see that price has tried to make all this kind of ascending channel structure that that price is trying to push down, right? There's a few sell opportunities that we, or I personally took, or some of you guys personally took as well. And it's the same thing happening here, right? Ascending channel, ascending channel. This is just more of a slanted ascending channel, but ultimately it's telling us the same thing, right? These are all reversal price action structures that we have seen in the past. Okay, so expect the same thing here, guys. Expect the same thing here. Break out and continue lower. I want to talk about Aussie Swiss quickly to wrap up all the currencies. It's kind of the same as Aussie Swiss, but it's better because you can see Aussie Swiss push up a lot higher than what I wanted to see. But Kiwi Swiss looks a little bit better. It's the same kind of a continuation correction. It didn't pull back all the way up there or whatever, but it did form a correction after this bearish move down. And this is kind of what I look for. If we look at the higher time frame here, this is a higher time frame. This is before pretty much the COVID happened, continued downwards, but we're right back to this top now. You can even say this is a top here, but I think this top is more significant because this is a impulse correction and an impulse down. So I was looking at this top as a potential double top here. And when I was looking at this structure here, this ascending channel, I was expecting price to break down and then continue. It didn't happen here, but well, guess what happened? It break up, right? We pushed the price up, and then again, it's a false breakout now because now we just have a reversal impulse followed by potentially a continuation correction. We're just going to go down more. So really, if you think about it, this structure isn't wrong or isn't invalid, right? We know price action. We know the market itself is never going to be perfect. It's never going to give you the textbook setup that you're going to learn from a head and shoulder or something like that, right? It's never going to be perfect. Okay, so when you acknowledge that, when you understand that the market, that is how the market is, when you see the overall price that even if we break out, but then we reverse back down, we form continuation, we drop out into this ascending channel, in my opinion, this is still valid. This is still ascending channel. We just had a false breakout, but price is right back into this pattern now, and we just likely to continue lower when we see these confirmation from the price. Okay, so that is last one on touch base, which is Kiwi Swiss. I do see a potential here as well. I love to see, remember, I'm going to say this repeated throughout the string, is sharp impulse followed by a sharp reversal impulse followed by continuation correction. When you see these play out over and over again in the market, you have a lot more confidence to executing these trades. Okay, so that is Kiwi Swiss, guys. Any question, guys? Any question on any of these before I move on to other things? So Euro Kiwi, like I said, is one of my favorite one. Looking like it's continue up over now, so I think looking for a continuation here would be nice. And then Euro, Aussie, Kiwi Yen. I think these yen pairs are also looking very clean. So no question. So why don't we continue to indices? I think some of you guys are talking about indices. Why don't we go through some of these indices? So I'll start with Nasdaq here. I think we all talked about Nasdaq last few weeks when we start seeing this reversal structure. We've dropped down from this correction, and I mentioned this is the area to watch out for, right? Because when price push down this impulsively, I want to see what will happen in this last bit of the price. Right now here is looking a little bit more like we're going to continue lower. Okay, I'm seeing this as a potential bigger structure that we're making. We're right at this, breaking all of this ascending channel, and we're getting a top here, we're getting a bottom here. So that kind of starts seeing like as a structure here. Can we continue up more and more and going to the downside? I think there's a lot of room. If we zoom out here, we're just breaking all of this ascending channel, but there's all this previous low that the potentially price can reach. Okay, we could getting into this bearish kind of price action market very, very soon, right? I've been talking about these indices pretty much for months or since last year, really. When I see these ascending channel potentially complete, there is just going to be a lot more potential to drop down lower, at least to the low of this current price action before we see the next bullish run. But for now, it doesn't look like it's going to continue higher because we're just kind of consolidating here. We just had a sharp move pushing down. Naturally, price is correcting. So if we finish correction here to go down, I think that's going to be very strong momentum to continue to the downside. No, not yet. I'll talk about gold after. But let me finish up all the indices here. So same idea with S&P 500. Remember I talked about some indices usually going to be faster, some are slower. I think S&P is right in the middle. Nasdaq is already at the bottom of its structure, right? But S&P is not. But judging by what it's doing here, judging by how the price is still in a bearish kind of price action, if you look, it's a little bit erratic in this area, but I do ultimately see price to hit the low here, and this is the area to watch out for. Is are we going to get a clean breakout followed by continuation and definitely going to jump into this position, or are we just going to move down and then kind of consolidate in this area for a little bit and then start reversing back up? We have seen that in the past, right? We have seen that every time when price hit the low here. If there is no continuation, all these prices just eventually push back. So I want to see what price will do when it hit this bottom, and then if it's going to be reversing back up or is it going to break through and continue lower. Okay, so that is S&P 500. Nifty, I can go over Nifty Bank Future. I don't really know what that means, but I have Nifty as where's Nifty? I have Nifty as an index. This is what I know Nifty as. I'm not sure about Bank Future, but hopefully this is going to be the same. Well, it's not as clear as some of the US indices that we just went over, right? It's still in this kind of expanding kind of wedge or expanding kind of channel. But this latest bit of the price isn't really showing me any bearish price, okay? Ultimately is my approach if I was going to look for a setup is, looks like there's a completion correction here, so I want to see price breakout and continue lower. That's going to be a lot more safer entry to enter, because I really don't see what the price is doing in this last bit of area. It could be forming something like this, okay, expanding structure. We push down, we correct, and we were looking to push down lower. But to me, that's not going to justify me for a sell. I would prefer to wait for a larger correction to complete this time. The difference here between the couple other US indices is just there's not clean price action here, right? That's why for NASDAQ, it is pretty clean when we see this ascending channel, we have a breakdown, we follow by a correction, right? I think that is much, much cleaner price action than what NASDAQ here is doing. So let's look at last one, Dow Jones. Dow Jones is usually going to be my preferred one or the favorite one because the price action here just looks a little bit better than the other US indices. To me, this can still be a double top, right? Remember, I talked about double top doesn't have to be just breaks and above. It's about how the price is reacting to this area. And lower time frame looks like it's forming a kind of ascending kind of parallel channel, and within this larger parallel channel, right? We talk about this pretty much every stream, and personally, I'm just looking for that sell, right? We're looking for the sell potential, looking to see what the price will do here, right? We push down, but there's really no other correction forming here. So same approach than I think S&P is that I want to see what price will do, at least first break this low, if not break out this structure here and look for continuation. Because we have seen price trying to break out and it just nothing happened, it just pulls back afterwards every single time. I don't want to see price hits that area and then just reverse back up and pretty much taking a loss or take a break even, whatever. If you look closely here on the higher time frame, even if we wait for an entry that we break out, we follow by continuation. There's a room to the downside, if not room to the downside again. Right? We have seen how sharp a move can happen during a peak time, during the really high momentum time. So I certainly don't think a coronavirus will happen, but I do see a bearish move that can happen in time. Okay, so it's all about having a plan. Once I said, having a management plan, having an entry approach when that happens, then you can able to capitalize on it. So that is Dow Jones, guys. Any question on the indices before I move on to commodities? I already talked about Nifty, my friend. Did you listen to that? I went over Nifty already. I don't have Nifty Bank and I'm not really interested in trading those, but it should be the same, right? When we're talking about Nifty. So let's go on to commodities now. Let's talk about commodities. Let's start with oil first because I think oil could be interesting coming up, or at least for the next 24, 48 hours or a week. Let's see how the price approach this area. I'm looking at here oil because this is a kind of a previous significant kind of top before the price start getting into that bearish kind of price action, right? You can see that price has already recovered all this, which is pretty significant in my opinion. But it's unlikely for price to just continue higher in that straight fashion. You can see after a strong after a strong push, naturally price is correcting, right? So after another strong push, naturally price needs to correct. Same idea, right? So, but the difference here, in my opinion, is we're approaching to this double top here area, and price hasn't have a deeper pullback, right, or deeper consolidation, if you want to call that. I just expect price after that we have recovered all this price isn't likely to continue in that fashion anymore. It is likely to form a deeper correction, a deeper reversal, and then eventually still going up afterwards, but it's not likely to just start breaking above. So that's kind of something I will be looking at for the upcoming days or week. Is about what the price will do, right? Remember, late it's always about the lower time frame price action. Higher time frame, potentially there is a top, right? But we're not just gonna short here because we see some high test candle. We're going to go down to the lower time frame and see what the price action is doing. If this continue to correct in this kind of ascending channel formation, will be very, very nice for us, right? Because we want to see reversal structure here on the lower time frame and potentially look for the entry. All right, so although give it a little bit of time, I do want to see a little bit more development from the price. So looking at silver here, someone pointed out silver, and I do want to say silver for me on a higher time frame. Long term wise, I'm definitely still looking for some sort of bullish price action to continue. But lower time frame wise, looking at here is we're getting a completion of this kind of structure. We hit the top again, a sharp bullish impulse up, followed by a reversal impulse, and then a continuation bearish correction. So this looks like it can have an impulse correction, which is impulse all the way down to the bottom here, and then potentially looking for a reversal from the bottom. So short term wise, looking to see what will happen here. I'm not going to take this short. I'm not really interested in this short, but if there's correction here, if there is more bearish price action, I do expect price to hit the low here and then potentially reverts back out from there. It's going to be the same as gold here because gold is also approaching to this bottom now where I'm going to keep a very good eye on. Originally, I thought this could be a double bottom area and price could be just breaking above this descending channel and continue. But instead, price keep dropping lower and lower and lower. So you got to take it as what it is and see what the structure is doing. Is this going to be continuation, or is this going to form some sort of reversal now and then reverse the price? In my opinion, it's still a little bit too early to tell because we broke this low. We broke this low impulsively, so it's about looking for a continuation here to give you confidence to look for a further sell or wait for price to pretty much hit the bottom of this higher time frame channel, right? Because ultimately my bias on the higher time frame is still bullish, right? We can bullishly move up all this price action. This is just a larger, deeper flag kind of channel structure the price is still currently in. So even if it hits this bottom, even if it just breaks up and it still reverts back up, this structure is still valid, right? So I would wait for this last bit of, couple of days to see what the price will do. I think that's pretty crucial now because lower time frame continuation here, that's going to tell you that this is going to break out, this is going to continue lower. But if we start seeing kind of consolidation, reversal price, then we could just start seeing bullish price action in the near future. Okay, so that is what I see on gold. Any question on this one, guys? So that's it about commodities. I'm gonna jump into crypto now. Eurocad. So, Eurocad, how I'm seeing here is I originally wanted to see price if it can reach all the way to the low here, but it looks like we could be getting something here. Okay, and I kind of, when I watched the charts over the last couple of days, and looking like here is something can develop here. Okay, this latest bit of the price kind of gives me a little bit more bias towards a buy setup. So if we look at this over, just looking at this overall price action, there's an impulsive move, and then there's all this period consolidation. What's good about it is that we're getting to this bottom of a potential flag, right? You can see this is a potential flag or channel, and how the price gets there, this is always a key, is lower time frame price action. What is it doing? Well, it's forming a descending channel. It's a consolidation. It's correcting, and we have the higher time frame bias here. So I do see a potential buy here if we get this correction to finish, and then if we get a breakout on the correction followed by lower time frame continuation, I definitely see that continue higher and higher. Getting low here to the buy, I think it's good. But just watch out for price can still just consolidate and move eventually to the downside and then start reversing, right? This consolidation can go on for a little bit longer, and that's always a tendency to do. So I would wait for this correction to complete and then look for more bullish price action to get it. So let's go to crypto. Let's go to crypto, and then we'll talk about a few crypto that I'm really looking at for the remaining of the week. So Cardano, many of you guys messaged me about Cardano, so let's take a look. So what do I see from Cardano? Well, I got in on this buy position. If you guys recall, I got in on the buy position, took out my profit at the $1 mark, and the price continued to go higher, right? This is pretty clear bullish price action. Looking like we could be forming something here again. Okay, we're at this all-time high now. Remember, this is the all-time high, and we have seen when price breaks the all-time high, we're likely to continue. We're likely to see further bullish price action. So same thing can we expect to happen here, in my opinion, at Cardano. Whether or not this forms a correction here, or if it's going to form a deeper correction, but I still see the bullish price action from the bottom, right? You can see all this time price has been in this bullish price action, right? There are so many opportunities to buy. I've been pointing out all these buys throughout all these months, and definitely see another buy here if we finish a correction and go higher. It's the same as here. If you guys recall, when price reached about this area, and some of you guys asked me why I decided to take profit at the $1 mark, but that is just my plan, right? Getting in on the buy here, and then taking out profit would be very ideal, right? Because it secures you pretty good profit, almost 9 to 1, and you don't need to worry about if price is going to start reversing when it hits the previous high or the $1 mark, and I didn't want to lose back the profit. Same approach as what we're doing here now is, if we get deeper correction here, I want to wait for deeper correction, and then we could get a breakout, and then followed by continuation correction. This is always going to be a trade that I am looking to get in. Okay. So let's move on to a few other ones. Yeah, I can go over those cryptos. So let's talk about Bitcoin first, because looks like we're potentially getting back into a bullish run now. So if you guys recall, I exited my Bitcoin position somewhere here, when price began to form to me at the time a continuation correction for this bearish move down. and I didn't want to hold through a deeper pullback. So, but I always was in my plan to get back into crypto, or get back into Bitcoin, sorry, for potential buy. We talk about this that in my last week or the week before when I do my recap videos. I didn't want to hold through another pullback or a deeper pullback after accumulating enough profit, but I will be looking for getting back into the market when I see more bullish price action, right? We push up massively already, we have a deeper correction, we push up again. So it's naturally for price to form deeper corrections. If we look at this latest bit of the price here, is that the only thing that slows me down here is this is a sharp impulse down. This is kind of a falling wedge, so a reversal pattern. We have an impulse correction, and we're going to impulse up, but see where the price is stalling here, at least for this last couple hours or so. We understand the nature of the price, right? We have an impulse. If we have a correction, which is what the price looks like it's going, this can just go down lower and lower, right? So you understand that's what's happening, right? We're not just going to straight away buy, which is what a lot of people do. You have to see what the price is telling you. If we find a rejection here, if we find a top here, and this goes down, pushing by a lower time frame correction, then certainly this can still go down lower, right? We can still see a kind of a bearish price action if we get something like this, and this just pushes down lower, right? There's always a tendency to do that, right? So always understand what the price is telling you. Don't just buy because someone tell you to buy. I think that's really not how trading is, guys. You have to put in your own analysis. You have to put in your own time and management to get better at trading. You're not just buying signals to buy and sell, right? Because you're not growing, you're not learning, right? I do want to talk about Ethereum as well, because Ethereum had this kind of ascending channel, and then we pushed down, right? It looks like it's the same across the board. We have this kind of a falling wedge pattern. Falling wedge usually is going to be reversal, and we did have some reversal price action. We did have some bullish price action. However, again, it hasn't break the top yet, and the same approach as Bitcoin is, what's happening if it's hitting this top? Is this going to go reverse and forming a correction on its own? So making this as an impulse correction and go down lower. Okay, so again, keeping an eye on this and then see what the price will do. Litecoin, very similar. We had this almost like a rising wedge, and then we had this head and shoulder pattern here, and we bearishly impulse down now. So what is the price going to do here now? Well, again, we're trying to see what price will do if we continue to the top, at least to this top here. Is this going to continue breaking out now and go further, or is it going to reverse? In my opinion, I'm going to stay with this short-term bearish potential on pretty much all the major crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. It's showing me that same approach. Is this pushing up is good, but I prefer the price to break above this high and then continue. Right? If it doesn't, if we start seeing bearish price action, then this is an impulse, this is a correction, and we expect to go lower. Okay. Dash, well, it's going to be the same, right? Because what I really don't like is that reversal impulse we've been seeing. We have a bullish impulse, you have a reversal impulse. There's no correction here. So a reversal impulse down, this latest bit of the price is very crucial. Sure, there's probably some inverse head and shoulder, but that's all on the lower time frame, guys. This is what I emphasize on multi-time frame analysis, is that you need to combine what you see on the higher time frame versus the lower time frame. If the higher time frame is kind of showing you that there is a bearish move down, there's potential correction, so that is your bearish bias. But your bullish bias is also looking like there's an inverse head and shoulder, and then this can push up. So I don't like when the lower time frame doesn't add up to the higher time frame, right? It's conflicting buyers potentially, and who to say which side to guess, right? Are you guessing because you like the lower time frame correction, but you forget what the higher time frame is doing, or you like the higher time frame is doing, but you forget what the lower time frame is doing? So make sure you have you have a good understanding of multi-time frame analysis, because that is how you're going to um, filter out the bad positions or filter out the mediocre positions from the good positions. I think that's it, everyone. Is there any other questions here? I think that's all the crypto I'm going to. No other crypto is on my watch. That's about it. Mostly looked bearish to me, and I don't really want to buy intention. I usually like to buy the crypto and hold for long term. So if they don't happen, if it doesn't form, then I will be more on the sideline watching for more development. Okay, so you're welcome. You're welcome. Any question, guys? Any question? Today the stream, not too many people on today compared to the usual ones, but that's okay. I kind of did it spontaneously. I usually have a New York session on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. But those of you who are new, or at least the new ones are new with me, make sure you can follow me on TradingView. You can see all my contents here, right? And all my streams are uploaded here. If you're interested to watch any of the rewatch the streams, it's the same as on YouTube, everyone. If you want to watch my price action analysis, price action videos, I upload all of them here for free. I divide it into different playlists so you can actually learn price action this way. And all the content is on TradingView. I'm sorry, on Telegram. This is where I post all my links and analysis and educational videos and things like that. You're welcome to add me here for further contents. Dollar yen, sure. So dollar yen, not too interesting because I really don't see any structures, at least. I don't really see anything here. Originally, if you guys recall, I was buying here, got another buy, and then get pushed down. But what I'm seeing here is really erratic. It's not really showing me a structure. It looks like more like a ascending structure, which I don't like when I have a bias of a long-term buy. If you look at the lower time frame here, this latest bit of the price is more kind of screaming for a bearish move, right? If we're not looking at all this previous price action, we're just looking solely at this latest bit of the price action. It's kind of showing me that this is more of an ascending structure within this larger ascending structure, and looking like it can just break down and continue further and complete this structure here. And I don't really want to speculate where it's going to go. Higher time frame wise, looking like it's looking pretty clean for further upside, but I just didn't really like this latest bit of the price, like at least this part at least. If we get continuation correction here though, this can very much give you a little bit more bias that this can just be some sort of a correction, some sort of continuation correction. So a impulse correction, we impulse out, followed by another continuation. This can very likely to continue higher. We have the higher time frame daily or higher time frame on our side because this is a higher time frame kind of a channel. We have a lower time frame descending channel, and we're having a breakout now. So certainly have some merit here to look for a long and eventually breakout followed by continuation. All right, so that is what I see on dollar yen. Any other question, guys? Any other questions? I'm happy to answer some questions. If you guys have some questions for me, it doesn't have to be with trading, it can be anything else. Happy to answer some stuff. Where do I post the streams? Yeah, I mentioned this earlier. My streams are in TradingView. This is my page. You just have to go stream. I upload all the streams permanently on here. Or you don't want to watch it on TradingView, you can watch it on YouTube, right? Go on my YouTube, go playlist. I divide them into two sections. There's the weekly outlook. So at the beginning of the week, I'll do always the weekly outlook. And the ones that we're doing right now, which is a daily market update, and daily outlook. This is where I divide them as well. So you can watch all of them here. And I try my best to leave the link in my Telegram. So in the Telegram, you're always going to get my latest link to my streams. Okay, so you just click them. That's as simple as you can do. Okay, so I think that's it. Everyone, unless any other questions. Well, am I still dollar? Yeah, let's talk about dollar CAD. My bias is looking for bullish, right? My bias is looking for a bullish reversal from the price. If we zoom out here on the dollar CAD, higher time frame wise, potentially we're at this bottom now, right? This is one of the area that I'm watching out for. And how the price gets to that bottom is really key. It's in a descending channel, right? We look closely here. There's a smaller descending channel within this larger descending channel. So it's really good confluence in my opinion. And we can see price has already moved down all this much already, right? So in this latest bit of the descending channel could give us some good bullish reversal price action. So I think the key here is we had this reversal impulse, which is good. It's almost like an inverse head and shoulder. I want to see what will happen when this flag or channel completes. Ideally is to wait for a breakout and then continue to the upside. I don't think it's ready yet. Okay, let's wait for a bigger bigger confirmation from the price, a bigger breakout from the price, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. All right, so that is dollar CAD. Any other question, guys, before I wrap it up? That's the last stream I'll do for the week. I was away through the weekend. Those of you who follow me, I wasn't in town, so I went to the forest. So I'm just gonna do, this is the last stream for the week. But I will get back to my weekly routine of 3 streams per 3 streams per week. So weekly outlook and 2 market updates throughout the week. That is my plan to do. Okay. What are your some favorite pairs for the remaining of the week? Yeah, let's go through some of these. I mentioned Euro Kiwi is always going to be my favorite. Euro Kiwi is going to be my favorite looking ahead. All this price has been pushing down massively, and it's just time for a reversal. If you look closely, we're always going to get reversal structure and reversal price action. It's the same idea here. It's not that this is going to continue all the way up there, but it's likely to have a sharp pullback, which is what we have seen in the past, right? And if you look at the structures and look at the price action, they're not going to be identical, but once you understand price action, once you understand structures, you understand that this is a reversal structure to push the price up, and this is a continuation correction to push the price lower, right? Once you're very clear on identifying these price action structures, and you're seeing the same thing happening here, you know that there's going to be a high probability of this playing out. Okay, so Euro Kiwi, definitely the one I'm looking out for. Let's take a look at a few other ones. For yen pairs, I do like Kiwi Yen. I do like Aussie Yen as well. I think they look pretty clean, pretty clear for continuations. So let's see what happens when they develop, or at least when they complete this correction here that we're looking at. Aussie pairs, I think Aussie CAD is good. I don't really like Aussie Swiss because this pushed back a lot. See, it looks like it's going to form even some more correction almost, more continuation potentially. And I don't really want to see that happening. I was looking for a sell, right? And this pullback is too bullish looking and not really interested in it. The Aussie CAD looks great. We have that rising wedge, we have that push down followed by a potential continuation. And dollar pairs, right? I think dollar pairs are looking very, very clean. I think dollar peso looks good. We have this reversal structure. Potentially, we're going to push out further. Dollar CAD we just talked about, right? Dollar CAD is looking good. Pound dollar also looks really clean if we get a continuation this to break out. And Kiwi dollar, right? Kiwi dollar forming a structure here, forming a potential continuation. I would wait for a breakout followed by continuation. I think would be better. And Aussie dollar, last one, again, same thing, right? Reversal, impulse up, reversal, impulse down, continuation correction to push the price lower. So these are pretty much my favorite ones to look out for the remaining of the week. I think most of them are looking very clean for a continuation. So just waiting for a little bit more development, right? Don't rush to jump in these trades. I often get these messages messaging me because they got in the position too early and then they're holding a loss now, or holding a loss when they don't have a stop loss or whatever. And really, risk management 101, guys. Look through my videos about risk management, because not setting a stop loss and hoping the price will turn around, I think that's probably the worst trading decisions or trading emotional decisions that you can do. You shouldn't be holding through a position and hoping it will reverse. This is one person messaged me on the pound dollar positions, and no offense, I'm using you as an example, but that's really just for learning curve, is that when you getting on these sells all the way, like he showed me the positions, he got in 3 sells and they're at a 50 to 60% drawdown. So that means in 3 trades you lost 50-60% of your account. That just doesn't make sense, right, guys? You can't possibly be entering 3 positions without stop loss, and the 3 position right now is at loss for your account for 50%. That just doesn't make sense, right? Your job as a trader is to consistently make money and understand risk management. Your job is not to overtrade, revenge trade, or over leverage so that you blow your account pretty much in a couple of days, right? That's not how it works. Okay, unfortunately, a lot of new traders who getting into the trading industry doesn't really understand that. They're trying to get rich quick, and usually what ends up happening is when you're trying to get rich quick, it backfires and it blows the account, and then they start saying trading is a scam, right? I hear that over and over again in my time. So my suggestion is to have a plan, understand risk management, risk 1% of your account, don't over trade, don't over leverage, and consistently make that percentage and consistently grow your account. All right, so that is my honest feedback on that. Okay, for those of you who are still new, because social media, of course, tells you differently, and you may think you need to make massive profits like these people. You don't have to, right? Your job is to try to learn trading the correct way and the consistent way, and not those kind of gurus telling you to make massive amount of money, because usually that backfires. All right, so that is it for me, for everyone. So I appreciate those of you who stay with me this whole time. Those of you who stay with me till now, I appreciate that. I just broke 1,000 YouTuber subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, so I really appreciate that. I appreciate everyone to be with me since the start. I really appreciate that, because that's gonna help me to keep going. I didn't make all these videos, I didn't make all these educational lessons, whatever, for to try to make maximum money, right? I'm just trying to give out as much free information as I can, as much knowledge as I can to everyone, so everyone can learn and grow. Right? That is always my intention. Okay, so thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate your time, and hope to see you guys next time in my next stream. And hope everyone be safe out there, and see you guys next time. All right, thank you very much.